just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders. Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
This defense for the Commanders, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 47. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try to protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He finds his man, complete. That's Oliver. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
We know that he can get first downs with his arm and his legs, Charles, and there when he gets outside of the pocket, the defense has to account for both, and he's able to complete it for the first.
And he's very comfortable outside of the pocket. Some quarterbacks, that's not their thing. For him, that seems to be the #1 asset to his game. Gets out into the open field, things seem to break down the secondary a little bit, and he picks out the right target.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Oliver. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. But how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Able to connect with Dotson.
And some space here. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really.
Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yards for a 1st down.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, All right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so. When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line.
A huge play there for Washington. 59 yards.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw it with Peterman.
Going right back to Dotson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Rolling to his right. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Peterman. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He tried to get away, but to no avail, and an absolute killer there. A 12-yard loss on 1st and goal. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Peterman. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They go play action now. Peterman. And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal, there's a huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Peterman.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, granted, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play, but no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow.
And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Again, it's Peterman. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw now on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted.
It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
A great play there as time expires in the first half.
And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Slide for the PAT.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They run it again with Chubb.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On third down, Peterman. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Broncosians are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Wolf. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
Boy, no chance once as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line.
And this doesn't quite work out as well as planned. They'll forfeit a few yards as he's tackled just past the 15.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll throw on first down with Peterman. He's got a man complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
From the red zone now, here's Peterman on first down. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year.
And the Commanders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end.
Here's A.J. Cole now
as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into...
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 68 yards.
And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it is 28-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Shifts past him at the 45.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamin Davis, and the Commanders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Looking deep downfield. He's got a man, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Here's a throw off the scramble, and that's complete out left. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They're not running it. Peterman wants to throw it. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fire.
I'm the best, and the best, and you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get on go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get on go. If I touch it, then it's cold, For the park and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking nothing from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call it. Working big, and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know he missed the knew I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till I can stun and do it. I'm the best,